Well, we did it. Here's the 2001 Ford Econoline. It's all wrapped up, ready to go to the client. It's actually being delivered tomorrow, and I think I've got everything done. So let me give you a tour before I send it out of here. Here it is, the finished van. On the outside, it's pretty stock. I added the running boards for the client. The C.R. Lawrence windows were already in there. That was about the only thing that we kept from the original van when it came into the shop. It had a mild conversion done on it before. We just had some pretty cheesy upholstery and some, like I said, the windows. These rain guards were also added by the previous owner. Those are great, by the way, if you're setting up a camping van. Definitely recommend those. They allow you to roll the windows down a bit, either when you're parked camping or when the van's in storage and you don't have to worry about water coming in. The only thing different back here, we added a rear view camera, so that's there at the license plate. And then here we have our shore power cord and a solar power cord. This van, we couldn't put anything on top, so I added this guy here so that you could plug in solar panels when you're parked. And then this would be your shore power. This is a NOCO plug. Had pretty good luck with these, super easy to use. And they come pre-wired with a pigtail, so makes it pretty simple. So you just plug in your shore power. When we do that, we'll go over more of that later, but that's going to be charging the battery and then also give you some plugs. So I'd say that's about it for the outside. Really not too much. Did a little bit of dent and rust repair, but not too much. It was pretty straight, really good condition. Like I said, 2001 E150. Good tires, everything's in real good shape. Go ahead and start showing you the inside. Van was okay when I got it. It had an interior that I scrubbed out of it, just some kind of cheesy plywood and things like that, some velour, you know, all the good stuff. So we completely gutted it, added kind of everything that you see here. I made these new door cards for the back, and then the plastic that was here used to be a nice shade of blue that I turned back to gray, and I think it looks a lot better. We added the floor, so I floated a 1/2-inch MDO subdeck down there, and then put some LVT flooring on it. So this is the cargo area. Got some cubbies to either side, and then there's a lot of functionality or possibility with this back partition here. And I think with that, if the client has certain things that she wants to hang up or mount there, we can go ahead and do that. We have a blackout curtain. You can see the side window blackout curtains are in, but I also have one with these snaps here and up there. Just have 2 of those on either side. That hangs up a blackout curtain that then drapes down along the back here so that it when you have the windows closed, you're not going to see into the van whatsoever. So I think it's nice and tight. Still a lot of things that could be done. There's a light under here, and that gives you the ability to see what's going on. And then up here we have a light as well, and then that we'll see more from the inside. I have a GFCI plug here. When I run the power into these vans, I run just into a GFCI and then to the other 110 volt or 120 volt plugs. That way you have a fuse on the circuit, so if anything were to pop on the inside, it would pop that circuit just like it would in your bathroom. So it's a simple way of using kind of a factory piece to gain some security and some safety. All right, we've got the swivel seat underneath this passenger. There's a video on that. Check it out. It's on my channel. It's all just about put in this swivel seat base. It's from shopforseats.com. I was really happy with the way it turned out, and it works really well. So we did that, and then we added a Sony stereo. Main reason that we added the stereo was to get the rear view camera, but then also it updated so that she would have you know, her Android Auto available to this, so she would have GPS, music, hands-free calling. The microphone is right there for the hands-free calling. Other than that, the only change up here in the cockpit was this start button. So we did a push button start. You turn the key on, then you push the button, starts right up. Mainly just did that just for ease of use. These have a hard final turn on the key, so it's a lot easier to push the button, and that was something that was important to the client. But yeah, everything up front is pretty standard. And now we get into the good parts. So if you've seen my Instagram, I've had a number of photos of this as it's been tracking along. The galley, of course, was the last thing that I built and the last thing that I've finished. Actually just finished this extension table today. We'll see how I can do filming it here for you. But it works pretty easy. More or less can do it one hand. But I made this bracket down here. It's just a piece of I forget what it's called. It's a piece of probably ultra high molecular weight white plastic. But anyways, I made it so that it clips, and then it comes out. And then, if I can one-handed, then you bring the stick out, and you've got a little table. So, like I said, there's that plastic piece that I made. This right here then clips under the back of that there. So that works out pretty well. And then there's just a wood slide. It's not to carry a lot of weight. You're not going to want to sit on it, obviously. But it's good for just putting your camp stove, some pots and pans, you know, beverage, whatever you want when you're out camping. Little cubby there just to take advantage of the footwell. Also put a little cubby in here. This is just to utilize the space that's between here and the sink so that there's something going on there. And then we have a gray water tank. So I have it to where the drain can go either into this tank, or if you see that ball valve there, you can turn that and you can run the water out to the bottom of the van. And got a nice little bar sink here. So the wood that I use pretty much everywhere is Douglas fir, kind of a mixture of tight, clear vertical grain and then some wider grain, both for a look and for cost. The wider grain is a lot more affordable, gives a good kind of a warm vibe, so I like it. The refrigerator is a truck fridge. These are pretty cool. A friend of mine has been using one for years in his Westphalia and has had really good luck with it, so I thought I'd give it a shot on this one. Crunching the numbers, it seems to be one of the better values out there. You get really good components and you're not paying extra cost for a brand name. So look them up, Truck Fridge. They've got a pretty good website. And then we've got this cabinet here. So that there is a wardrobe. And then we've got a couple drawers. They can be used for either clothes or for kitchen storage. We've got a cubby there and then a cubby there. I will show you what they all do. So again, the pantry, or sorry, the wardrobe. I put that ledge down there. It makes it really nice to use that almost like a drawer. You could roll up socks and underwear and t-shirts. Really store a lot of clothes down in there. Then the drawer, just a nice good sized drawer. You can come out and be taken out to your camp table if you needed to, just like this one. So again, we just have a drawer, plenty deep. Good for pots and pans, pantry stuff. All right, and this guy, I'll show you. These come out and down.
So that's how the toilet is hidden. That kind of the intent there is that that would be for your toilet paper and cleaning supplies. If we take the cushion down, that's what you would need to do to use the toilet. The toilet is not meant to be used all the time in this van. It's more or less just to have just when you need it and if you need it. So I made that access cubby from the top, again thinking that that's where you could put your toilet paper, anything that you need, just kind of around the toilet area. So, and then moving up, we've got a atlas and map magazine rack, and then we go on up from there and we've got another cubby. We've got our electrical panel, and then I made it to where you can get to the wiring if you need to. There's some fuses back there. So I get these panels, comes off Amazon, real easy to use. I like that it shows the voltage and gives you a USB outlet, a 12 volt socket, and then your switches that you can define. I also put this dimmer on the lights. So all the lights are on a dimmer, but then each bank of lights is controlled by a different switch, and I'll show you those. So I think it will work pretty well. Definitely allows you to tailor the experience in the van and have what you need. The electrical system, or the battery, is back behind here, so it's in between the driver's seat and the cushion here. It has a 105 amp hour AGM battery, deep cycle battery, and then we run a isolation switch that comes off of the starter battery. So while you're driving, you're charging the battery up, and then you've also got a charger in here. You can't really see them, but I've got both a solar charger and an AC, not really a trickle charger, but just like a battery, a maintenance charger that is also in there. So when you're plugged into shore power, you're charging your battery, or when you're plugged into solar, you're going to be charging your battery. And then of course, when you're driving down the road, charging the battery. You can use the cubby there for anything you want, really, after that. And then we've got just a little bench area. This is a pretty cool little shower caddy that the client found from REI. Worked out great, so we just ran that there. And then this hangs there. And this is one of our switches. I put the switch here above the bed lights so that you could reach that from bed, and then that's also a USB charger there. So similarly, I put the lights up in the main area here on these two switches. So by doing that, you've got some lights that if you're just here in the passenger seat, if you've got that swiveled, want to read, you can just have those on. And then here over the kitchen, kind of the same thing. But the reason I put them here in front is so that you can reach them from outside the van. So when you go to get in the van, you can easily turn those on and off. So pretty easy from outside the van. Kind of another, I guess, feature for getting in and out of the van is this works as a handle and this works as a handle. Things that just make this easier to use, no matter how you're feeling, I guess. The bed back here is a twin size. It's nearly an actual twin mattress, widthwise and lengthwise. The client isn't overly tall, so she's able to fit in here no problem. And it's for her and her pooch. And then the reason for the segments in the mattress, there's two reasons. One is it's too big as one piece to get in to the van without completely taking out all the cabinets. So the 3 pieces makes it so that you can get these components in, and then also these ones on the end lift up, and you're able to get access over the wheel wells for some, you know, occasional storage. You wouldn't want to put things in there that you need all the time, but things that you want to take along with you but you don't anticipate using. Another ledge, and then there's a cubby there, and there's also an outlet there, an AC outlet. The thought here is that we can put a small microwave on this ledge when she is camping at campgrounds and plugged into shore power. Then she would have use of a microwave. Did also add you can kind of see it there in the sliding door. Let me close this table. And then you see there I put a bezel around the glass there, and then that allows for a blackout curtain to be put there. Also have blackout curtains for the front windows, and then we're just going to be using one of those reflective fold-up shades in the windshield. So the ceiling, that was kind of fun. It's a tongue and groove whitewashed pine or pickled pine. I got some pickle stain from that Minwax makes, but this is some pine that we actually cut this pine up at my parents' forest, and then used a sawmill and kind of took it from start to finish. So kind of cool to work with wood that I actually know. I know where the tree was that it came from. So the neat aspect of this build. The countertop here is a sapele mahogany, and it's just I glued it up kind of like a butcher block, and then I used butcher block oil on it. Just the thought there being that kind of a hard finish might not age well in such a high use area, and then also it would then be super easy to touch up over the years. So there we go. Let's get this to the customer on the road. There's a lot of details and a lot of time put into this van. I've been doing this for about 5 months on the side, and here we are. It's finally done. Super excited, client's super excited. I wish it wasn't quarantine, and I wish it wasn't, you know, all this COVID-19 stuff, because I know she would like to get going and really go on some epic trips right now, but she's gonna be kind of stuck to just doing some day trips, but also learning how the van works, how to fit it out, and get all her camping stuff in here. So am excited for her once these shelter-in-place things lift and she's able to do that. But what an interesting time stamp we're all gonna have for this this period in our life. So anyways, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it inspired you. Let me know if you have any questions on anything that you saw in here, any ideas or you know, ways that you would like to do things. If you're ever in Eugene, Oregon, hit me up. We'd love to talk to you and see what you've got going on. If you've got a van, swing it by, and yeah, we'll talk shop. So we'll see you down the road. Hopefully see you on the camping trails and you know, who knows where out there. And until then, be safe, and we'll see you later. Bye.